Hey, what's up, guys? So, fortunately or unfortunately, the biggest reason for this video today is because Dulom put out a video on do not build the new mutants. I'm like, okay. And so I was gonna just do straight reaction. I watched it, and I'm like, okay. And he's putting out some facts based on. Let me turn this on, get some old school BGs going. He's putting out facts based on like this being the last team before the new stat teams come out. And so we'll take a listen to it. We'll take a listen to it in a minute. Uh I just think the breakdown of the comparison is just is lacking so much information. It's misleading. But we'll get into that. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I get on that. Yeah, these here turn out to be as short as guys. You gotta keep an eye on this. Um, I've got some orbs, but it's like I'm definitely gonna start making sure I get those. Maybe I need to check over here too, just to make sure when I see them. Cause oh wait, over here. That's how bad that's looking. I've gotten low a few times, and I meant to make sure I checked it off in this store. So what's been going on? Oh damn, I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna grab those too. um, go back to this. And I'm opening up the chat just in case anybody wants to jump in. So the voice. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I did my volume checks. Let me take a look at that. Oh, I want to say this to you guys. I'm gonna do a calculation here because I did one real quick just to kind of see if and when four diamonds comes, the cost. If they're using the same currency, which I would think they would, it's just gonna be the price is gonna be like ridiculous. So I'm gonna just start because I've checked this store over and over again, and I'm pretty much getting the same stuff in here. Nothing nothing really worth taking up unless you're just like hoping for a rework and it's like, yeah, let's not do that. Uh because of the price increase is gonna be on that. Um Check here. Volumes look good. I don't know if my chat is gonna show, but we're gonna pop it on anyway. Or the volume will be there like it should be. If it comes in. Okay. Okay. Ah, okay. Where's coming along, huh? All right. All right, we got that in. Okay, so I wanted to see how this would look too. So let's see if I can put on a little extras for my avatar here. Yeah, so that's good because this thing jumped on huge, man. It was like this on me when I first pulled it up. I said, "Oh my God, look at the size of this hat." So let's see. I don't think I want it this small, do I? Do I want it this small? Uh, maybe like that, huh? Whoops. Yeah, I want to save. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I had to get those words on there. Okay, they're going. I don't think it's nothing else to do here. I I bought how about here? I bought three of those $15 deals for this, and I've been hanging on okay so far. We'll see. 'Cause I think I spent too much on the last one, and I still ended up with 4-4. I wasn't really trying to go for the five, but I was like, if I get it, and I had bought some extra things just to stock up on, I said, well, it wasn't worth stocking up on it because I still got the 4-4. So it's like, let's just see where this goes, and I try to time this 4-4 because I don't know if it's gonna be worth trying to get a five. I mean, it'd probably be nice to have, but this is 1,000. That's like shit. Um, and so since this is 2,500, it's like let's see if this 55 bucks is for. I guess it's 45 bucks last because for me, uh, I grabbed this mutant gear. No, I didn't grab that mutant gear. I guess it was in the web store. It was $15 one. I bought three of them. I believe it went to this. Maybe it went to the other one. What did I get on this? I didn't get nothing on this. It had to go to this. Had to go to this because I definitely didn't get these. This is what I was buying last time around when I needed some gear, and I said, "Shit, I don't know if that's the way to go. If I can help it, had to be that one. Oh well, let's see. Let me see. I guess it might be gone if it was over here. I don't know. But at any rate, it was. I thought the price was pretty good for me, 15 bucks, because I had took Domino up, and I do think that defense. I want to show you guys this, so it's just be for you guys. 'Cause, changes I made on this defense was I talked to Zaston, and he said that his Immortal X-Men with Professor X got one shot with decent efficiency by Immortal X-Men. I said, yeah, we can't have that. So I threw this back in there because the Immortal X-Men don't beat it. Um, they may take this. The hope is that if he has charges, they don't kill him. Maybe they trip in game because it's a little bit. Guys getting understanding how to go into it when you have Gladiator and a third probably Gore in here to plan either to hit into it because it got safeguard or take APOC or Ares to take away the safeguard. So I think leader just brings a different dynamic, and that's we're talking about like Blastar, well, maybe it does with Blastar too. Maybe they miscalculate because I have a little bitty Omega Red, but he'd get the extra health, and so it makes it kind of hard to strategize on what exactly takes these guys out because if you don't take them out, of course they get hit back. You guys have seen this. I mean, Blastar does beat it. I've seen Starjammers beat it. I've seen Starjammers struggle and a curse mostly for this. This unknown. This is most def defense to a degree. I just threw scroll in there. I got the 4 diamonds on, so I threw them in there. Um, we'll see how this does. I took old man Logan out, and I'm still debating on whether I throw him back in. But I think this defense is mostly uh, Mummy, Quasar giving him the immunity, and Noel really stopping like a Mortal X-Men. He gets to go, of course, it wipes out Storm's charges. So it's kind of the same concept, except Old Man Logan would do it on spawn. I think Gore, both of them being the threat for that, and then Noel having more speed, it makes it worth keeping Old Man Logan on offense. This is just a way to try to put F4 on defense with Professor X, keep him somewhat safe. So they have to just go in with something, probably Damon, but we'll see. And like I told you guys before, this is more so for Vigilante trap. Because I don't know that they'll work here, but we'll see. So let me pull up this Dulom video. It's kind of got me interested on that. Switch to here. Okay, let's see if this. Oh, I gotta set it. Okay, so this is one I didn't set. This may take a minute because sometimes it's a little slow. I guess because I'm first on, it's not. Okay, cool. All right, let's pause this. All right, so we're gonna get in this video and then we're gonna try to break it down with some additional facts because I think that could be important. So let's go and get started here.
What's going on, MSFers? Dulom here, and today we're going to be talking about the New Mutants. We're also going to pull some of those group Miss Diamond Orbs, see if we can get anything good from those, because we got like Howard and Lalandra and stuff there. But I really wanted to address New Mutants because they are kind of the ugly stepchild right now. So they are the team being released for December, right?
You have people do it like
right now, we do have Wolfsbane and
something like
Cannonball
that.
in the game.
Nah, that's
Warlock
gonna
has not come
Oh,
out
did
yet,
that go? Let me see if
so
it
we don't
goes.
have Warlock just yet. But they are a
Sadly,
Crucible
yeah.
team, right? And that's known. And people have been skipping Crucible teams, first of all, because of the rewards in Crucible. Just ain't worth it, Chief.
Okay, let's just stop there. Um, I think people skip, in my opinion, from my perspective on it, people skip Crucible is not because of rewards. It's mostly because of the game mode they're not interested in, or they're building. They're This is like a luxury part of the game. I mean, I like it. Maybe it's what's keeping Marvel Strike Force alive. But people don't play Crucible for the rewards. They play it for the bragging rights. That's why you hear so much bragging, especially like with huge punch ups. The guy 150 mil collection power versus 250 mil. The guy 250 versus 400. Because those things play a part. I mean, that's when collection power does matter. Because it's just too many options for a player to use. Because his tunes are, he has more built up. Now, when you're talking about like me, if I'm 350, I'm going against 400. That's irrelevant. If you're 250 going against 300, it's irrelevant because it's too close. But when people are playing Crucible, and then just let me jump over here. Like I said, this is my opinion. People are playing Crucible. He's talking about the rewards. I get that. They're they're not playing for the rewards. Well, this part, where is it? Season end. This part may be so because this is hard to get. You start talking about these, was it Dark Diamond promos? Yeah, Dark Diamond credits. Uh, I mean, those come in handy. But for the most part, it's really about where you're ranking. Because what you hear guys talk about is where they're ranked, where they're ranked. They made it to the top 100. They made it to the top 250. They made it. They're in the top 1,000 somewhere, which I give guys a lot of credit for making top 1,000. That's not talked about like it used to be, but that's still 1% at the at most likely of Marvel Strike Force, top 1%. And so, the other one, the leagues. And so guys do this for the leagues. Like I was in Grandmasters most of the season. I just dropped down. So quite naturally, my goal is to get back to Grandmasters. Some guys were in Grandmasters, might have dropped down to Masters 2. So that's what you hear guys talk about. If you're a Masters 3, you might have dropped down or going up or close to going up or going down to M1. And same thing with guys that are here trying to get to Diamond because they might have a struggle getting from Platinum 3 to Diamond 1. This is what you're hearing guys talk about when they play Crucible. And what you hear them mostly going on is the learning aspect of the game. It's like getting into the room rules. How do these room rules work? What should I put here? And then you start seeing a lot of people putting in game in here. But you do see guys putting in a curse and other things. I saw one guy had a screenshot. He basically had what I have in room 6. This is at the beginning of the season. In room 1, what it does is it helps people learn how to build hybrid teams, get their best tunes in here. Because if you're punching up and you're 150 mil going against a 250 mil guy, this is the part you're learning. And so that's what he's leaving out. Because you don't really learn the game as well going into arena. You can learn some aspects in war because it's similar. That to me, that's where the collection power comes into play. Because if you're 350 mil, you can put some big teams on defense, and you can still be creative with them, and then still have your 12 attacks for offense. The problem with Crucible, I shouldn't say problem, the difference with a guy with a lower collection power is when he goes against me, I have all this overpower sitting in here. He may not be able to do that, or she may not be able to do that with their defense. And I think that's where the creativity comes in. Like, how you going to keep an offense to counter and making a good enough defense? And that's his talking point is just what is not was what Crucible is about. When people don't play it for the rewards, they play it for the creativity, the planning, the competition, the camaraderie, the rivals that get built up. Because sometimes you have a rival, you won't even know it, and sometimes you do because you've beaten that person so many times. It's like, oh, this guy's my rival, and then so, or you lose to him that many times. Like for example, I don't know if I've ever beaten Lance. I maybe did, but Lance has beaten me the last 2 or 3 times we matched. So Lance is here, and I'm putting it out there. You never hear me talking about playing for a 3-0. I am going for a 3-0. That means Lance, if we meet, you got to take a L. That's how I'm looking at it. Uh, Most Def too. I think the last 2 or 3 times he's won. So it's like need these rematches. Going in very focused. I think I've beaten Jex most of the last times we matched because he got so many different accounts. I don't know which ones I won against. I haven't seen going against Commander Johnny in a while, but I'm just doing this as an example. Commander Johnny is 309. He's 10.5 mil strongest team power. And you got D's on the other end, who's close to 400 and 11.7. Now, because of where we're all at, it's not a huge difference in these two guys, but he probably will have a much stronger defense that D's if they were to match. That not D's. Um, Commander Johnny would have to punch up into, and that's what I'm getting at. So his defense could be slightly lighter in what he's trying to do. He might have some 19s, He might have some tunes with less P5s, things like that. So, and D's might have his old defense for all we know, could be all P5s. And so that's the part that he's not getting into because you have to strategize on how you're gonna do that. So like I'll just give you guys an example because we're gonna talk about these new mutants, so I'm gonna pull them up and then we'll flip back over. Uh just get on to them. And so when you get into content like what he's saying, it's so general that you can't. So like I'm not, of course I brought him up to this, but the thing I'm showing here is I took him to 5. And when you start talking about what this means on Cannonball or what it could possibly mean, and you're just saying, "Oh, skip them," and uh, we'll get into it a little bit further because I want to show some of the video. But it's like you're discounting what this means on him coming into new stats. Now I do think new stat tunes are going to probably come in at about 30 mil. But we're going to talk about Cosmic Crucible teams, and we're going to get into like the Illuminati. We'll get into like the original Superior Six because you still see those being used, and we'll talk about their kits in Cosmic Crucible and compare with this and how they're able to those old teams are still being used to some degree against the newer meta. And most of us will probably still use some of those older teams when 3.0 comes out. And it's like so it's an inconsistent argument that he does at the end prove in his own argument. So I'll save that part when we get there. But let's just jump back over.
Like they're just not, get off my screen, they're just not worth it, right? The rank rewards kind of meh, right? The dark diamond credits okay, but other than that, who cares? And then the league rewards are just very lackluster. Some diamond orbs, some training materials, cool, and then a little bit of sigils for the knockouts. After that,
So
there's
let me say this. I give Dulom credit for being in Masters 1 because it's a challenge to get there. But he used to be a guy that could get into the top 100. So you gotta take that into consideration of how he's approaching the game. He's at 1900. And like I was saying, it's a challenge to get in the top 1,000. That's what I say. I give guys a lot of credit for getting the top 1,000. He's not in the top 1,000, so his perspective on Cosmic Crucible has changed, probably because his interest in Cosmic Crucible has changed. And so his motivation for this building his team has changed because he doesn't have the high level interest. So when and he's got a lot of views already. He's got over 2,000 guys watching this video that maybe like Cosmic Crucible, that maybe want to get up to where he is or is where he is and want to get past this or wherever they're at. And this could be useful information to them because of this perspective. And that's the biggest reason I'm doing this because it's like you're not really uh giving a fair assessment of a new team, and because you don't have the best tune left. The best tune left is not here yet.
no character, there's nothing going on at all outside of that. So people already are kind of sour on Crucible, and Crucible
And so let me just put that part. If you're playing Crucible for the rewards, then I totally get it because you can get a decent amount of rewards wherever you're ranked. So if that's his perspective, then he's absolutely right.
teams in general, because the rewards are not that great. I think there is another big reason why this team might be one of the biggest skips ever. Now, when I say skip, that's always with an asterisk nowadays. You cannot skip teams anymore, right? Because they're going to be required for some legendary event. They've already been announced as as a very useful tool on a specific node for the Thunderstrike raids. They're probably going to be part of the Annihilus chase as well. You're probably going to need to build new mutants as well. I don't know if it's going to be all the teams that we've used for chapters 1, 2, 3 to get to Annihilus, or if it's just going to be the legendaries. So that remains to be seen as well. But this
So I'm glad he put that part in there because he's not totally saying skip, and I appreciate that part because they're not going to give you this team around Christmas and then tell you, oh, just they're only going to use them for Crucible. No, they're going to find a way to make them use them somewhere else. The issue is because, in my opinion, because I mean he's an or he might still be an envoy. He may be testing, but when you lose, well, I shouldn't say lose. When you're the relevancy to the game is if for importance is not there because he used to be creative. He used to really come up with a lot of counters. He used to do a lot of things in Crucible. When that diminishes, then you're not seeing how you can come up with things because you're kind of out of it. Like I give example, I used to be real big on war, and it's not the same for me. And a lot of that changed because I don't. They took away Fridays, and so during the week I'm working. I don't really get a chance to participate the same way. Let's try to get my attacks in when I can, and sometimes I'm hitting things that it's a chance because I don't have enough time to check a counter because I'm either getting up in the morning or if I'm trying to squeeze one in at work. And so when you can't put the time in, uh, it changes in its level of importance on how you're going to approach the game mode. But for me, because I can put time in to plan my Crucible, is based on my time, and I have 24 hours. Then I can really put a strategy together. And so that's what I'm looking at here is because of where I've seen him in the top 100, and now he's not even in the top 1,000. It's like his interest has to be different. But let's hear the rest of what he says. And I'm glad he did say basically you can't skip teams anymore because it will be a travesty to skip this, and we're going to get into the Warlock piece on why that is. Uh, when we look at what these new stat teams might be able to do or not be able to do to this team here, in addition to the rest of the team, what they're able to provide.
This team is the ugly stepchild.
Oh,
And
I
why?
stuck.
Because they're the last team to come out before another new stat rework. And that is monumental, and it makes them so garbage, it's not even funny. Because you remember when Annihilators came out and they were the first full team after Ares, after the Ares stats came out, and Annihilators were absolutely shredding everything.
You own crypto, but do you really own it? For many users, your tokens sit in some company's
Absolutely shredding everything.
Okay, that's
They
not
were
good.
shredding Crucible teams. They were destroying on Crucible defense. They were shredding War defense teams. Same thing when Night Stalkers came out. Night Stalkers came out, right? And Night Stalkers were deleting everything. Literally everything. And we were all complaining how raid teams were absolutely crapping on Crucible teams, crapping on War teams. And it was the same thing with Orcus as well. Both of those teams were absolutely deleting meta defenses because of new stats. And I think new
Okay, so let's jump back over um and take a look at what he's talking about here. I think you want to. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. I think you want to keep this part in the context. What he's saying here. So let's go to Orcus real. Let's go to not Orcus, Annihilators real quick because he started with them. That was his example. All right. So Annihilators. Here we go. Annihilators were an arena team. I don't remember what the meta was at the time, but they were brought in as an arena team, and typically arena teams take over. Fantastic Four's arena team, they took over. Uh, I remember when Infinity Watch came in, they were good and they stayed good, even in Cosmic Crucible, way longer than anybody thought they would. So this is already an unfair comparison because the arena teams, when they come out, they're the top team. Period. You're gonna be able to use them everywhere. You use them in war. You use them in your Crucible. You use them in anything you're gonna be doing. You find a way to use your Annihilators or your arena team. So to say that the top arena team comes in and because of new stats is able to beat the Cosmic Crucible teams is so inaccurate because we know that Fantastic Four came in and caused all kind of problems for Crucible teams, and also Crucible teams had a hard time trying to beat them when they were on defense. So let's just keep that in in context there. Now, when Night Stalkers came out, and we'll look at Orcus too, it was at a time when the community was complaining heavily on raid teams not being usable anywhere else. It was a big complaint. So they had to do something, and it started with where is it? It started with Man Thing. Gain 20% speed. This was not in raids, so it's like, oh wow, we can use them. Now they held it behind, where does it say? He had to have three or more. This is the part that was is similar to New Mutants. Uh, and maybe when I don't want to get into trying to look at how we can use them other places yet. But when we're looking at this part here, you have to have three. Then yeah, this kind of limits the New Mutants, but it's also the reason why they're going to be so good in Crucible, in my opinion. Now, but once again, the thing that made them good was 20% speed at the time, a speed gain at the time when raid teams were not good outside of Crucible. So then we go here to her, and it says on offense, fill speed bar 5% for self and all allies. This was not in raids. So you're making a comparison on the components that make them good, that made them good at their time, because this was the big push. Like, we need teams that are raid teams, they're not held behind this in raids. And that's what happened. So it's not just new stats, it's because of this. So then let's jump over to Orcus, because it was a similar thing with Orcus when they came out. Where's Orcus? So when Orcus came out, we had Scientist Supreme. Field speed bar 50% on spawn. That was outside of raids. That was a big deal at its time. And then where is this slow? Whatever, oh, it's here. And then her first ability, uh, she's gonna put offense down for 2 turns, defense down for 2 turns, and slow for 2 turns. That was immediate. So tunes that can put slow on a team out the gate was a big deal. So at that time, we didn't have as many tunes that could shut down her speed, just like the Night Stalkers. They could shut down their speed. So these were big deals, especially her putting a slow on the very first tune to go. So it's an unfair comparison when you're saying, oh, it's because of new stats. No, it's because at that point in the game, they were getting into raid teams having speed outside of raids. But let me set this back over here then, so when we come back it'll just be on. Okay, doke. So then we'll get over here. Don't want to click it too many times because then it will not go.
Mutants are going to turn into the exact same thing that is happening with that happened to previous teams of old stats. This team is going to get absolutely worked by new stats.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop already. Let me go back over here. So he's saying this team is gonna get absolutely worked by new stats. That's his argument, right? All right, let's go. Let's go here. And let's go to these guys. Now, granted, we're not using the full team like we used to, but there's still too much in their kits that we use. This guy here, I took him to 5 because I plan on still using him no matter what. And so he's saying these teams are gonna get absolutely worked. It takes new teams when we make a hybrid with this to beat them still. I don't forgot how old they are. I don't know if they're 2 years old or 3 years old. And we know how Captain Britain works, but we're talking about. So let's just look at Damon. I think it's in her kit. I don't know if it's in her kit or in in Hank's kit. In wait a minute, in Crucible, lower max barrier of all enemies gain charge. Maybe it's in Hank because they I don't know if was she stop the crit because they can't hit into. Okay, so upload 40% health, clear negative effects. Allies cannot gain slow, 15% barrier, 5% brain drain. I'm missing it. I think it's in Shuri. But there's a protection with the crit damage, so Damon can't really hit into them and take them out. And this just popped in my mind, or I'd try to have this pulled up so I could just jump to it. But the point I'm trying to make here is Damon with 2 and 3 diamonds, guys are not using this on at least a 3 piece of Illuminati. Low max barrier gain, distant focus, plus character has charge. I don't forget what that part is, man. I don't forget who it's under. It's something I think you have to have 3 of them. I can't remember where it is. But anyway, the point I'm making here is this team is old and we're still using them. This team is old and we still can use them. Guys have put up all kind of screenshots, 2 and 3 mil punch ups, taking out different kind of Odin comps with this team here. And it's like you're saying that the new stats make a difference. No, it's how these kits are designed. These guys kits, these guys kits. And then let's not get into this. And he's gonna make his own example to kill his own argument, in my opinion, because he's gonna bring these guys up and how great they are. The Sinister Six was okay until this guy came out, and then it was a game changer. One tune at this time changed this entire team in Green Goblin Classic, and we were taking him in a dark dimension, and this is I guess he was both. He was Crucible and War, but we were taking him in Dark Dimension with Doc Ock and getting it done. I don't remember which one that was. We took these guys in the Dark Dimension. I did anyway. I think I did like Nightcrawler and somebody else. I can't remember who I did. And I took these guys in. Um, we're still using these guys in War for the most part, and so it's longevity behind them. If you're going to talk about a team that has limited uses, this team has limited uses outside of Cosmic Crucible, but we'll still be using them. I mean, they're starting to fade a bit, kind of like the new Warriors did, but we still found ways to use them for a long time. Matter of fact, talking about a key tune, this is a key tune that we still, as power crept as he is, we still use. You gotta look at this. This guy is 5 mil, and we still find ways to use him. So it's kind of a, and I still use her in War. I guess some guys might still use in Crucible. She's even older. But what I'm getting at is like when you start making comparisons, oh yeah, and then this team was good, but totally changed with Captain Britain. Totally changed. And so you're talking about a team. In this team, we don't have what could arguably be the most important character on the team to even say how they're gonna do. And it's like you're basing it on what using these for, or because the creativity and the joy for the game is gone, so you're not even testing them on the test server. I don't know which one it is, but uh, we have sat back, meaning me and some other content creators like Fetty, like Zastin, even Dave jumped in, and guys are talking about, how is this team going to get beat? What are you going to use? But let's watch some more of the video. Let's jump over to here.
And it's so sad to see because the problem is, even though they stop speed bar, they stop speed stat, they stop all of these things, this
Wait, even though they stop speed stat, they stop speed bar, and they do all these things, even though I don't know how you diminish that. I don't know how you turn that into something that's like, even though like that doesn't matter. What? Then I mean, we waited on Century for that exact reason. You know, you can't gain speed. He's shutting down Mephisto, and then you have Thunderstrike. Everybody's waiting on his passive, and now this team is, even though let me just go back to that. This is just I don't even get why he said that part.
see, because the problem is, even though they stop speed bar, they stop speed stat, they stop all of these things, this team is just gonna tickle compared to like Winter Guard or any other teams that come after that.
Okay, let's stop right there because I've been saving Grezzo's video. Let's just jump on over to here. Uh, 'Cause he's saying they're gonna tickle. They're gonna tickle. Where you at, Grezzer? Because this was amazing, man. They gotta give a lot of credit for Grezzer to even take this chance. This is a guy that is on the cusp of making grandmasters. He took a chance and did this attack. Now, where is it? Let me go over here too. He took a chance on this attack. I saved him over here too. Did I? Grezzer. I think he did it in 3. Yeah. This guy took a chance in his Crucible on the line to advance to get the Grand Masters. Now, I want you to look at this. 3 red. 3 red. That's the 2 new ones. There is no Warlock. Old Nightcrawler, because they're power crept. They can't do anything. These, they're going to be power crept. 1 diamond, 3 diamonds, 5 diamonds, 3 diamonds, and an Odin. Now, I want you to think about this. 3 diamond Reed is probably 20 mil health. 5 diamond Emma Frost, new Emma X, is probably 20 mil health. And we're talking about they're not going to do anything because they're going to be power crept. It's not because of the power that they have. It's because of their kits. Anyway, let's jump back over here because we're gonna get in. We're gonna just touch on those kits again. I know I've talked about them before, but for this here, I gotta cover
really,
it.
really sad. Really, really sad to see because this team does look cool. And I love Crucible and I love Crucible teams. But this team is going to get power crept into the absolute depths of hell because they are the last team before a stat rework. And they are just going to get deleted by every new.
Okay, so I don't know what Scopely's making now, but they were definitely making like $1 billion a year or some crap. And you have a company that's out here trying to make money. They got sold. New owners want to make money. And marketing wise, if you're trying to make money as a company, do you really think because this is the last team before the stat increase that they're going to make this team where it can't work after you give the stat increase? Maybe not in war, but in their game mode, it just is not adding up. But let's
new
keep going.
team because those stats are going to be significant like they always are with Kestrel, Silver Surfer, Ares, and now we have Winter Guard coming out. So I would be very cautious building this team quickly and coring this team. I have been saying that this team is not worth coring anymore now that Winter Guard is going to have new stats. Winter Guard might be worth coring instead of this.
Okay, I haven't looked at Winter Guard that well. We're gonna look at Winter Guard because Fetty is excited about him, but Fetty's a war guy, and he's talking about how maybe on the offense we can use Winter Guard in Crucible. But when you start comparing an apple to an orange, I think you start getting into trouble. You're talking about a war team. You're saying let's build this war team to guys that play Crucible. We're going to build this war team because they're going to be better than the Crucible team. And um, let's flip it. If I were telling you guys, hey, build the New Mutants because they're going to be great in war, it's like it doesn't make sense to do that because they're designed for this game mode, and you're going to have different sets of rules going on that's going to benefit them in their game mode than would be a war team. But anyway, let's just keep going.
This team. Now, I am probably going to end up coring Winter Guard because I think they are going to be extremely useful in every single game mode of outside of war, even because they have those new stats. I don't know why the typing there was really rough, but Red Guardian right away is going to have amazing plug and play because he's going to give defense up on spawn to all allies. He's also going to be a pre-taunter as well, which is very, very impactful. So I think he is going to be very, very good as a plug and play tank. So I really don't think the New Mutants are going to fare well in this meta because they're going to get deleted by new stats. And it's sad to see because they haven't even fully come out yet. And they're already going to get crapped on. Now, I could be...
Okay. Quick sidebar. We're gonna look at these kits because Cannonball starts off blinding the entire team, and then and then Wolfsbane goes. And if you can't stop those two from doing those two things in any fight I can think of, if you're blind and you're bleeding to death, it doesn't matter if the other guy is stronger than you. You have cut out his eyes and you have punctured him a whole bunch of times. And now, because he's bigger and stronger, he's going to win the fight. That's the analogy here. That's the way I'm hearing it. So let me try to find this and see if I can get in here because I do want to see their stats. Um, uh-huh. Are they under this? Maybe. So sneak peek. I guess not. Go back to the other side over there. Let's one more time. I don't remember when they talked about this team. All right, let's go to this one. What's going on, Miles? I had to take some time, man, to comment on this Dulom's last video. I haven't watched Doom in a long time, and then in fact he said last night, like, who's gonna troll Dulom? He said, don't build new mutants. I'm like, oh yeah, well, you know that's gonna be me. It's just like, oh my god, come on, man. Uh, let's see. I don't know where they have the stats on this team. I don't remember which blog is in. You guys you guys remember which blog is in? Because I just want to kind of go over what their reworks are. And it's like if you have new mutants on defense, use this team on offense, or you have this new team on defense on offense, you have new mutants on defense. I just want to see what they have going on that's going to, because they're bigger and stronger, they're going to beat this power crept on arrival team. I don't see them. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's any of this. It must have come out even earlier than that. Um, be Frozen Fury, right? Red Hot Century. They wouldn't have had it this far back, would they? I don't know. Maybe somebody. Oh, here we go. Winter Guard. So now I love the idea of this Winter Guard team. So don't get me wrong. I'm not going to build them that fast. I have Guardian and Yelena already up, and like Fetty was saying, I do hope that we'll find a way to use Black Widow. They took a part out of Guardian's kit that I think will make it where we can't. as effectively. But on offense, he's got some good points. They're usable in CC, that is. And so that trio there, but we'll see how that works out. Say, what are you trying to search? New Mutants, move set, and skills. I believe Winter Guard for the Bear and Dark Skin skill isn't released yet. Only rework, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so yeah, let's just look at the reworks. Let's just start there. Because you got a tank. Now, he's going to have the new stats. I think the 41% speed is probably putting him from like 80 something to maybe 120. That's off a guess, off memory. Because I used to use him a lot, way, way, way after it's like, don't use him kind of mode. But his attack, he's got some piercing. It's very small, so it's just his damage, defense up. Um, on his ISO attack, 25% chance to gain assist. That's decent. Clear 2 negative effects. That's gonna come in handy. 50% health. He gains taunt otherwise. Yeah, so you have to. Okay, you can get his taunt back. Okay, apply defense up. Self and all allies was always decent. Heal self and allies 20%. That's decent. And chance to gain an assist from Elaine at 25%. That's cool. So he's got reduced duration of trauma by 2 on self and all Winter Guard allies. So I think Cannonball puts out trauma. So he will reduce the duration of it, right? If this counter is above 50% health, gain taunt, fly defense up, heal, regeneration. Okay, the regeneration is cool. You just skip over this. Oh, we go to transfer 1 positive effect, excluding taunt. Attack target and adjacent targets 500% damage. Clear all, evade, and deflect. So far he's blind. So this, I don't see anything on his special or his ult, this Clint, that's going to help him with that. In war, let's skip that. So on spawn, apply defense up. 50% of max health. He heals 30%. That's going to be huge. Reduce duration of taunt. Do a taunt on this character by 3. So none of this is going to help outside of war, right? Because we're talking about this team because new stats is going to walk all over New Mutants. So let's go on to the next one. Yelena, this is huge. So 187% damage, 17% piercing. We got to see what that's going to count up to because that doesn't seem like that's uh great. But I don't know what she had before. If she had nothing, I don't know what that calculates to the new stats. Um, attack primary target of 250% damage. So once again, we're looking at damage, not piercing damage. That's a big deal if they don't where that's coming in at. This character or any ally has stealth, transfer, 2 positive effects excluding taunt and primary target self. So now she's going stealth. We already know Wolfsbane is taking the fuck off and going to cause a problem. Any defense, that's why they are looked to be able to beat Fantastic Four because you're gonna have Sue in there. She goes stealth. So whichever tune, maybe it's her. Whichever tune is going stealth, that's gonna be a problem. They still got to gain assist from Black Widow. That's cool. Winter Guard. Um, yep, gain +2 stealth up to maximum of 3. So they'll be bigger and stronger. But until we see what's gonna stop Wolfsbane from filling that speed bar and taking off and putting bleeds on everybody, this is a problem because I don't see where the bleeds. We don't know the 2 new stats, but I don't see where the bleeds and the blinds are going to get taken off here. Because we're talking about team to team. We're not talking about how you gonna hybrid this. We're talking about team to team, right? He said new stats. So copy and clear 1 positive effect, excluding taunt from primary target to self and all allies. So if she gets to land this, which she probably would be blind, then she could clear 1, right? Uh, kind of clear 1 positive effect. Um, oh right, they won't have defense up because let me go back to that because they didn't see anything about offense up. They won't even get defense up because Warlock is gonna steal that. Attack primary target 280% damage. So still we're talking about damage, but she does give disrupt, stealth again, and cannot be blocked. None of this matters. Then ultimate. Attack primary target 300% damage. There's still no piercing damage. This attack has 50% extra crit chance and crit damage. That's good. And cannot be blocked. And then on offense up, that will get stolen. Gain stealth. While this character has stealth, gain 100% crit chance. And this is war. So if this character has speed up, all winter guard allies gain. So they're not going to get speed up. That's going to get stolen. And then lower crit chance for all enemies by 25%. So since Wolfbane puts out bleeds, they'll get 100% crit chance. If this happens, it would be lowered to 75%, which probably will still take. And then lower the chance of assists. It doesn't matter because they're not going to get any assists because Wolfbane is going to shut that down. So this team will get no assists, no offense up, and no speed up off the rip, right? So let's go to Omega Red. Great stats, increase. Apply +1 trauma and 1 ability block. I gotta see because I don't think they can get trauma. I don't think the mutants can get trauma. We're gonna see. I think it's one of them had in there. They can't get trauma. They can't get stunned, and something else is in there. But we're gonna double check them. And attack the primary adjacent target 400% damage, still 5%. If he's blind, then it's gonna happen. Apply speed up. That will not happen. Gonna get stolen. Well, that's no. This is on his basic, so that could happen. Because that's on spawn. So on spawn, apply defense up for 2 turns. Self, that's old. In war, not gonna happen. Attack all enemies 100% damage, still 15% health. And redistribute. Clear 2 random cause effects. Apply trauma, heal block, and silence. I don't think they can get heal block either. We're gonna check on that. Or if somebody clears it. Or magic clears it with her ult. And silence to all enemies. I think in Crucible, I'm gonna check. I don't think they can get silence. New stat error. It is new stats, but Dulom is saying like new stat error. So this is the first new stat team. I'm going through it to see how they beat New Mutants. If New Mutants is on offense, how does this team beat them? I don't see how they beat them. If this team is on defense, how do they stop New Mutants from beating them? I don't see that yet either. I mean, you guys pointed out to me if I'm missing something because I'm just looking at this for the first time. I'm truly just looking at their kits, these reworks for the first time. Generate 1 ability energy for this character. Attack cannot be dodged. On turn heal 20%. That's cool. This character drops below 50%. Gain speed up. That's in his. That's in his passive. Yeah. So I suppose that could happen because that will be dropping below 20% health. And while enemy has immunity, all characters gain 40% crit chance. So I don't see how they're not gonna get defense up. If a tune gives them speed up, because I'm not seeing anything about filling speed bars, so which they can't because you got Wolfsbane anyway. But they're trying to get the speed up to this team, even outside of Crucible. So it's like that's if it's on spawn from the new tunes that gets stolen, offense up gets stolen, defense up gets stolen, right? So I don't see where they have in their kits where after they're blind and they're bleeding, how they can win. That's just from just looking at this little bit right here. So, but let's go on with what he's saying here.
Be completely wrong, but that's going to be my read on the meta that New Mutants are not going to do well because again, every team that comes after New Mutants is going to have better stats and they are just going to outweigh them. They're going to outlast them. Defense wise, because New Mutants won't be able to delete them, and then they're just gonna out damage them.
Oh, right, right,
Very,
right.
very
He said they
quickly.
can't
And it,
delete them. Let me go back. So here we go once again. Breather with a 3 red and a 3 red, right? I forgot to show you guys this. 3 mil punch up, right? So I mean, I get that these are all except well, you get he's old. So for the most part, it's equal with how these teams are like stat wise when it came to the game. So we can't really say like new stats versus old stats on this. But I just want you to see this a 3 mil punch up. Uh I didn't put it over here, so let's go back over here. Let's watch this one first. Oh, let's just make it bigger. Let me go back. So this is using Nightcrawler to get speed up out the gate. I didn't see anything in their kits yet that says they're going to stop somebody's speed up. So you can use Nightcrawler, and you're talking about Cannonball being 129. Now Cannonball is like 200. So let's see what happens with that. Already Odin's at half health. Scroll has not taken a turn. He's about to die. And Odin is dead. That's the first video, right? Now keep in mind, this is a 3 red. Two of the new tunes are 3 red. That's the comparison I'm trying to make because we're talking about 3 reds going into all diamonds. And that's a 4 diamond Emma, and that's a 3 diamond Reed. Just whacked the life out of him. Now, I don't remember if this team even took a turn. So you put Nightcrawler with him, and the opposing team looked like they never took a turn. But the stronger team is going to beat the New Mutants because they're stronger. That's the rationale, right? Let's just jump back over here.
It's sad to see. And I mean, New Mutants is not the fastest team. I think Cannonball is the fastest on the team at what, 129?
Okay, we're going to talk about that too. 129 is fast. And also, I jumped in the chat with Fetty. I was just in and out because I was watching movies and he was streaming a long time. He was streaming different stuff. And I like Fetty. Cannonball is broken because he's 120, I think at 129. He's 129. And Fetty was like, right, that's the problem, old timey. Tanks, fast tanks are broken. 129 tank on his first turn blinds the entire team and stuns, I think, the controller. I think it's the controller he stuns. It's like you're comparing David to Goliath because Goliath is bigger and stronger. But in the comparison, Goliath had God on his side. So you had God's strength behind David. What do you say? Yeah, the new stat team might counter the current Apex CC team. It's not gonna count. His argument is that the New Mutants are dead on arrival. I'm with you. They might counter some other Crucible teams. He's specifically saying he said, I'm not gonna leave any part out. He said this team can be skipped. And he softened. He said, but in this era, no teams can be skipped because we might need them for the Thunderstrike raid. We might need them for whatever event they come up. Yada yada. That's cool. Because he's like, because if somebody come back, you said they can just be skipped. I get that. He put that in there because it's like, come on, guys, you can't really just skip teams. But he's saying for Crucible, this team can be skipped. Now, after we get done with because it's a 10-minute video, after we get done with this 10-minute video, I really want to look at how this team and other teams are going to beat the New Mutants because that is where I was stumped all night. I just kept coming back to chat here and there, and I was asking some questions. And I was because Aston had a stream on it. He had a bunch of guys in there, some guys that know a whole lot more about this game than I do. And they're talking about Warlock is going to be insane on this team. And I'm not seeing where the additional Warlock comes in, where this new stat team is beaten, this war team is going to beat them. If you slap them on defense, the full team, I don't see how this war team is beating them. Not yet. I mean, we don't know what the kits are in the other two teams, but if they're coming in with speed up on spawn, this whole slow Cannonball is going like 200 out the gate. So you like, but at any rate, so let's just listen to more of this.
Like we already have Damon at 134 going ahead of that. So I don't know, man. This team is very lackluster. I think they are the biggest trap right now. So be
So, so when I was talking to, I was chatting with Desir last night about maybe this morning too. I can't remember. But Desir was pointing out because this is my thought too. Because I was bringing this up to Fetty and Zaston, and this team is going to have 25% damage reduction. So now Zaston's call is that we're blasting through Emma Frost. Emma Frost gets 30% barrier, and uh, you're going to have Magic giving 30% barrier. So what does that mean when you have the barrier and the damage reduction when these tunes get built up? Because we're going to eventually get them to diamonds. This team, they may not make us wait so long when the new stat tunes come out to get them there. Wolfsbane, they look like they're going to make us wait. And then I'm pretty sure they'll try to milk the money out of Warlock. But after that, they're going to start putting it out there because there'd be no reason not to. So, because they want this team to do well with the new stat era. So, if this team has diamonds on them, say just across the board they have 3 diamonds, and they get those stats, and they're like 15 mil health, they get damage reduction, they still speed up. You can't take a tune in to give Damon offense up. They still let, and they have no defense up. The the issue is you have to come in with nobody giving any of that extra, except maybe Strange, because I guess he can still get the crit damage to uh to take them out. And we're gonna see if the damage reduction is enough, because we know the damage reduction on the what you call it, immortal weapons, because it ranges up to, I don't know if it's like 25 to 80 or some crap. So they can get more damage reduction. Damon can't win. But Damon can't win against the new mutants. I mean, the new mutants. He can't win against Illuminati. He can't blow them up. And that's an old stat team versus a new stat player and a 5 diamond Damon. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen anybody blow up the Illuminati yet with that. So we're gonna see if that part is in here where if Damon can do that. But once again, that's the same stats. If Damon can't, then it raises a question mark on the bigger and stronger going into this team, because they're gonna have the damage reduction. That's one comparison I'm trying to make. Is the 25% damage reduction kind of offsets the stat increase. So you have that part there that I think levels this team out in CC, and I think that was put there on purpose. It was designed. Uh, does the new stat error will affect speed stat? No, right? Since it has been constant since day one. Is exactly. So this team is designed backwards. So like uh in that sense. So when we used to come in thinking, hey, let's get speed, we're gonna get the speed bar, we're gonna get speed stat, whichever way you're or both, whichever way you're trying to go in and counter a team, you can't with this team. You can't get either. So the bigger and stronger only matters if the tune is over 129 speed. And so, like I said, we don't know what the new tunes are, but I heard Omega Red is not getting any increase, so he's 120. So if the new tune, the only tune they have on their team, can make him not work, then maybe they got a chance. What's up, Ja? There was a strike spot with the 2 new character moves. Oh, really? Okay, so we'll pop on that. Was that did Desir somebody cover that? Well, I'll try to find it because one of them, either Dorky or Desir, somebody
very,
like that
very
covered it.
careful
Sure.
building them, and be very, very careful how hard you go into them, especially with cores as well. I know the Thanos event is running right now, and people are going to want to core him, core everybody for that, because they want to get
Dorky had it,
farther
okay.
in this event. But I would be very, very cautious for that, and be very careful what you are pushing for, so you know what's going on. But yeah, very interesting. I think it's sad that the New Mutants are already going to get phased out very quickly. I mean, you saw in my Crucibles, what was it, Superior 6 was deleting them.
Okay, 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 okay. God, you see the irony here? He just said Superior 6, the old stat team, is deleting the new stat team. So, I mean, do you see the irony here? it's hypocrisy. It's like you're just saying that the new stats is going to be better than the old stats. You didn't come up with a new stat example that beat them. He came up with an old stat example that beat the new stat team, which is still in his crucibles. He doesn't have Warlock. I don't know how you can fairly tell people don't build this team when you don't have the one tune that makes the team what it is. They purposely have made us wait so that we will know the difference when he comes out. There will be a night and day. The light switch gets flipped on when Warlock comes out. And in my opinion, that's why they're like, nope, we're releasing him on Friday. You won't have him for defense because you'll throw him on defense and you won't know how good he is because if anybody figures out a counter, you're like, oh, they're nothing. So they put him on offense. So day one, the vast majority of the community is going to have the New Mutants on offense, and they're going to wreck some shit. And they'll be like, yeah, they're good. And so once you start really seeing how they work, it's like, I just don't see in Crucible. I'm just like, you're going to have somebody that's going to shut down this cannonball who is the tank at 129 who cannot be stunned. I believe he can't get trauma, some other crap. We're going to just take a look. Maybe it's exposed. I don't remember exactly which one it is. And you're going to have to shut him down so that you don't go into the fight blind off rip. But anyway, he's got like 3 minutes. We'll
I
finish
ended
this
up
out.
using like a form of Superior 6 with, I think I used Vulture, Green Goblin, Superior Spider-Man, Hobgoblin, plus one more, and I was just
Okay,
deleting
he
them.
used the new
Just
stats.
absolutely
Okay.
deleting them, which is another testament to how good this team truly is. I love this team, by the way. This is the best team that Scopely's ever come out with, but it's just crazy seeing them get deleted right off rip already by Superior 6. So that's going to be very interesting to see if they can stay in the meta or not, but let's get to some group miss orbs. That's right, we got
Okay. It is questionable on how this Superior 6 is going to still work or not into them. Let me just jump over here real quick because there was a piece put in to ooh, you know what, Desir sent it to me. Let me just jump back over to that. It would make it easy. That way I could just stay on the same thing. Let's see, Desir. Okay, let's blow this up. All right, so right here, Cannonball, his passive has a mechanic where in Crucible, if he has three new mutant allies, support and protect the enemies cannot spawn with immunity. We expanded this to also include villain controller enemies as well. So I think that was Hobgoblin. What? No, but we'll see who all that is. We'll just take a look at the team. I ain't gonna speculate. Then Warlock had added in his passive has a mechanic where in Crucible on self or new mutant ally turn, if that ally has no defense up and any negative effects, flip one negative effect on to defense up and any remaining to deflect. This was changed to not require the defense up any longer, but it now just requires three new mutant allies. So we'll see how much of a difference that makes because I'm sure the talk was they put this in for Sinister, this Superior 16. Um, guess I guess it would be a good idea to kind of take a quick look at them. All right, I can pop this back on now. I'm gonna start them over. Let's see. Wait, where's I going? Oh, I'm over here. All right. So he's a controller. I'm pretty sure he's a controller. No, he's support. Who else is a controller in here? It's not you, is it? Oh God. So you're taking away Green Goblin Classic in a way, and you're taking away Hobgoblin. And who gives them immunity? I don't know who gives them. Does any of them get immunity? I don't see it. I don't know. They put that in there for a reason. I don't know where the immunity part comes into play. Need to bounce something off you. Sure, go ahead, Rich on Sips. You can jump in chat if you want to, man. The voice. I'm in voice. You have a few minutes for an old friend about 10. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump over to the Dorky video because I do want to see, or just Marvel Strike Force. I just want to see what they got to say on this. I don't. Are you here? Let me send you this invite because you might not can't jump in here. All right, there you go. Where was I? Over here. Uh, See that they're not gonna get this, and they're not gonna get speed gain. So it could be different because, well, I guess if they got the speed gain, he would. They were. This was Zassin was showing. He canceled it out. So, but it would still come down to Vulture is what? He's 127. That means Cannonball would go. They'd be blind. We're gonna see. I don't know. We'll see how that part works out. Um, Go back to New Mutants. So when you're using this team without the main character and you put him on defense, I think it's you're going in crippled. You're going in one hand tied behind your back because you're trying to find a substitute for him to make this team work. And like when you look at the examples, Green Goblin Classic changed Sinister Six when he came out one tune. Captain Britain, he came out. You had a decent team with Illuminati. He just totally changed them one tune. So to think that they're going away from this model in Cosmic Crucible where one tune doesn't make the whole difference with the team is like that's ludicrous. Um, let's just look at this because I forgot where this was. This is in his level one. The speed of this character and each ally can only be reduced by slow. We already know how huge that is because that's on the Nightcrawler, that's on the APOC in their passive. This is level one. You're gonna just get this with no problem. Then until this character completes a turn, enemies cannot gain offense up. So if they're slow, he's talking about how slow they are. You got to wait on him to go. Well, 121 is decent. You'd have to wait on him to go to even get offense up. So that means on spawn, you're not going to get it. You'd have to have a tune that's going to give him offense up on a turn. Then three allies, right? Three new mutants. This is the on spawn effects transfer all speed up, defense up, and offense up. I'm still under the hope that this word transfer works differently than Ares copy and clear. Now, the Fed is like, nope, it works the same. Zach's like, yeah, pretty much works the same. If this is just a sidebar, if it works the same, then it's going to be very hard to mirror this team. And that means defense will win. In the majority of cases, defense will win in a mirror, no matter what you tried to do. But, well, I guess what Desir pointed out, we were chatting, he said, you'd have to take X in, and that might make a difference. It might. I'm not sure. I mean, X is, he could be the deciding factor because it's X. But even then, it's questionable on how that would work. I mean, maybe a Odin because he could clear the blind up. But that's an expensive. Well, I guess not an expensive mirror when you think about it, because Odin could be. Yeah, he's not just so undefeatable. At any rate, um, when you got a tune that's in the game that already, just because of his existence, you can't put slow on them. I mean, the only thing they can only have their speed reduced by slow. The first, I don't know who else in the game because I don't memorize all the kits. The first two that come to mind is Storm and Scientist Supreme. And so I'm pretty sure because Dave jumped in. He said he tested. He said the Moral X-Men don't work. And so because me and Faye was like, is there any way to use Storm? And it's like, but they have made this team so that Immortal X-Men don't work on it. So you already have a problem there with one tune that will put slow on them that doesn't work. Now I don't know how you're gonna use Scientist Supreme to make this work. Uh, technically, I guess Orcus is supposed to beat mutants, but the problem is, um, she's gonna get speed gain. So if they put slow on them out the gate, she's just gonna the Warlock is just gonna well, no, that'd be on her turn. I don't know. We'd have to see how that would work because I'm not sure how they get past that. We're looking at more of their kits to see if they could what they do there. But anyway, those only two I can think of put slow out the gate. In Crucible, if this character has three or more mutant allies on self new mutant ally turn, flip one negative effect to defense up and flip there. That's where they revised it. He just needs a three. So three or new mutant turn, flip one negative effect to defense up and flip all remaining effects to deflect. So wait, does that mean he's just on spawn? He's just Rich, you here? Is that means he's would flip slow? Is that no? But it said what? I'm not quite sure how that would work. It says on any turn. I guess if they were slow, they take a while to get a turn. So maybe that's I'm not quite sure how that's gonna work. Until this character completes a turn, this character new mutant allies cannot gain stun, defense down, or exposed. So I guess they can get trauma, they can't get exposed. And you can't stun cannonball, and they can't get defense down. Okay. So let's go the cannonball real quick. When this character they got dropped below to get safeguard. And Crucible on any turn. This character is above 50% health against taunt. Enemies with blind or silence cannot generate barrier for themselves. So he's going to blind them. They can't get any barrier. Support, protector, and villain controller enemies cannot spawn with immunity. I'm not. I don't know who they have that in there for. Uh, I I don't know. But if this character, any new mutant ally, does not have defense up or minor defense up, that character gains 25% damage reduction and 25% resistance. So they get damage reduction and resistance. This is the part right here that makes me believe that this will offset some of the damage by the increase of new stat tunes. We'll see. I mean, I just think they got this part in there so that this team can withstand the new stat tune error in Crucible. For each deflect on this character, they get 5% crit chance and 10% armor. So for each deflect, because did it sound like the deflects could stack? Go back to here. From what he has in his passive. Yeah, it says so. I guess they could stack up because it's saying here and flip all remaining negative effects to deflect. I don't know. We'll see what that means. Um, so on defense, we're talking about the full team. The two things that's going to be important here is he's going to give them offense up. So they don't need to steal offense up. They're going to get offense up. And he's going to get charges. So for all the charges he would get from Magic, uh, heal self for 3% of his character's max health per charge on this character up to a maximum of 30. I believe Magic goes to 20 charges, so that could be huge. Um, And then in Crucible, enemies cannot gain taunts. So that could be a problem with AI targeting because bringing the tank in won't matter. So like Red Guardian would not matter. Let's see. Magic, gonna give him 30% barrier. This is a charge. She gets up to 20. So on Sunspot's second turn, let's just say he had 20 charges. I don't know if he'd get to that much or not. I have no idea. But he's going to hit for 600% damage. We know what that looks like. Apply offense down for 2 turns and defense down for 2 turns. In Crucible, he'll give Disrupt. He's going to generate 1 ability injury, which would be huge. So we'll see what this means if it gets to 2 turns and on defense and you have the full team in there, which I'm thinking you should try the full team first just to see how they function before you just say I'm subbing somebody out. Because they might be hard to beat with the full team. If you do that. Now, I'm still a proponent of having them on offense. You got the invite, and I'm just wrapping things up quick. Okay, no worries, man. Uh, at the end of any turn, if it has 20 charge or more, attack the enemy. Don't say with the highest damage. Where's that? Yeah, attack the enemy with the highest damage, 500% damage. So she's gonna whack him pretty good. Even though it's just damage, 500% is pretty huge. On crit by self and new mutant allies. Oh right, they all get crit chance, so that's gonna be huge. So that will these attacks will have crit damage on them. First time this character unit drops below 40% health. So she's got this in here twice. So when they do get hit, they drop below 40% health. Her passive will heal them for 30%. She's gonna give 2 death proofs and 2 evades. Where I know how much a problem that is from Nightcrawler. Um, then if they drop below 40% health again, she heals them 15%, gives them 1 death proof and 1 evade. So that's what I'm saying. The full team has some real potential when we're looking at video to see what the new tunes do to get through this disrupt. To get through this death proof and evades. If they drop down low, because if they evade and they got 2 death proofs, how the fuck are you gonna kill them? Um, they get 20% drain. Okay. Mm. God damn it. So Wolfsbane. So an enemy gains stealth, where I know that will be Yelena. Apply speed up to self and all new mutant allies. So if you bring them in, and the Yelena is probably gonna be the one you're gonna want to keep, they're gonna get speed up. Just like that. But they will get it anyway because they're probably gonna steal it from them. On stealth, new mutant ally crit apply 1 bleed to all enemies up to a maximum of 10. That's gonna be crazy. Enemy has bleed. She's gonna fill her speed bar 10%, which is pretty decent. Enemies cannot assist, where I know that's gonna shut down the whatever they call the war team. I forgot what they call it already. Speed bar cannot be filled or reduced, so you'll get that part. That can't happen. And they get 100% crit chance against enemies with blind. So yeah, so the crit chance will be 100% if Cannonball gets to blind them, and that's what I'm saying. I don't see where they stop this blind. Wait a minute. Doesn't hold on. Warlock gives out the silence. Does he give out the silence? It's unavoidable. So maybe it's this side. Oh, here it is. So if they get speed up, the first turn they're gonna have blind and silence. Apply silence for 2 turns, all enemies. Did they get blind for 2 turns? Blind and trauma. So they get blind and trauma for 1 turn. They get silence for 2 turns. Apply ability block to the Mythic Protector. Negative immunity. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting, man. I'm just like when you discount the team aspect of this team's kits, you say it's like a curse. They're designed to be an elite offensive team. They belong in offense. They do. And then at the same time, we use a curse on defense, and they're hard to beat. That's how I look at it. Just like that. Original ships, because they're designed, in my opinion, they're designed to be on offense, but you can use them on defense. Come jingle my bells. What's going on, ZKG? Who brings me my new mutants and going to be under my tree? Sexy rich on ships. Yeah, man. So I just see them being so fucking insane on offense. But I do think they have potential on defense. I think we will find some counters. I just don't think it's gonna be this new stat team. It is not gonna be them because they're bigger and stronger. Because they're putting out on the first turn blind, silence, trauma, bleeds. How do you recover from that? The team is slower than this team, so they're gonna do that to you. You can't bring anybody in that's gonna give them any kind of speed because they're gonna use it. Well, the speed up, they're gonna use it against you. You can't fill the speed bar. So what is he talking about here? Like when you take away the basics on what will make a team beat this, because that's what that team is built on. That new team is speed up. Then they're gonna lose. That's what it seems like. So let me see. Where is this? We're gonna try to find that video. So hot, sexy chocolate with a marshmallow. Oh God, you guys crazy, man. All right, so let's see. Marvel Strike Force.
In the wasteland, Ma June built a successful business.
Let's try to find that. Oops, that ain't quite right. It will go to Dorky because I don't know if this is where this is. Is this them? Winter Guard. Okay.
Winter is upon us in Marvel Strike Force, and you're going to need some protection from the cold on your Alliance's helicarrier. So we're bringing in the big guns. Byron joins us today as we talk about the latest team, Winter Guard. There are 3 reworks on this team that I know you're going to love. Florian Strikefox will also be joining us today to give updates on the envoys and the community. And as always, we'll have a promo code for you at the end. As this is the last strike spot of the year, we just want to say thank you for joining us on this adventure in Marvel Strike Force in 2025. We have a lot of cool stuff for you in 2026 that we're excited to share soon, so
Ursula
keep your eyes
Major,
out for that.
Omega Red.
Now, let's dive in and hear from
We'll
Byron
jump to them first.
on the Winter Guard. To be the premier rework of this team, and that's Omega Red. And I bring that up because he's going to be the one that actually provides the silence for this team, correct?
That is him, Dark Side.
That is
Been to one
Let's just go through them all because I probably missed something.
this team isn't really gonna be in that vein this time.
Say,
so how is this team really
Jokes on
designed
you.
to
We both
play?
going to be there.
so Winter
So
Guard
it
is
just
going to be
speeds that
a bit of
increase
a
that
slower
works.
team,
No, it doesn't.
and they're going to concentrate
No,
on survival.
they can't get speed stat. That's if it's on spawn. So I guess Omega has it on his basic, so I'm guessing that could work. But it might be too late by then. If it's an on spawn speed gain, they can't get it because it'll get stolen. A speed up, it's gonna get stolen. No, wait a minute. Is it a speed gain? I think he said maybe it is. No, wait. We're gonna have to go back and see that because I can't remember now. I can't remember what it says specifically if it was a gain, if they take the gain or they just take the speed up. We'll have to take a look at that and see. Because you might be right. It could be a speed gain, might work. Oh fuck, you're giving him another view.
And sustain. So where a lot of our kind of war meta at the moment is, lots of fast characters, Alpha Strike, lots of speed bar. Winter Guard have some powerful defensive mechanics. So the idea with Winter Guard is that you bring them into a war game, and then the enemy team basically gets to use their, first turn powerful specials and ultimates
Ooh,
but
fucking
they'll be
damn
able
Red
to
Guardian.
weather
Oh
the
my
storm, so
god.
to
Let me
speak,
watch that again. That was
and
insane.
have
His
some
fucking hit was
powerful
ridiculous.
defensive mechanics. So the idea with Winter Guard is that you bring them into a war game, and then the enemy team basically gets
Wait,
to use
wait. What
their
happened to Yelena?
first turn
Did I
powerful.
miss something?
This time.
Did
So
Yelena
how
die? Or is
A
she
bit of
not
a
in there?
slower team, and they're going to concentrate.
that vein
Oh,
this
she wasn't
time?
there. Is
So
that, ooh,
how
she's
how
looking
is this
different.
team really designed to play?
So Winter Guard is going to be a bit of a slower team, and they're going to concentrate on
Was that
survival and
Ursula?
sustain.
The
So where
Ursa,
a lot of our
Ursa.
kind of war meta at the moment is, lots of fast
Oh,
characters,
let's mix
Atlas
those two
Strike,
up.
lots of speed
Yeah, we
bar.
gotta look at it because
Winter
speed
Guard
game might
have
work. We
some
gotta look at that again and
powerful
see what it
defensive
says.
mechanics. So the idea with Winter Guard is that you bring them into a war game, and then the enemy
Jesus
team
God.
basically gets to use their first turn powerful
Fucking whack the
specials and
shit out of them.
ultimates, but they'll be able to weather the storm, so to speak, and then they get to retaliate, and their retaliate is very powerful.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this team, especially for the reworks. And I want to start with kind of a duo here as the first thing we talk about. So let's start with Red Guardian and Yelena getting reworked. What can you tell us
Okay.
about those two characters and what we're going to be doing with them?
Yeah, so Red Guardian and Yelena. So it is time to bring them into the current meta. So a big part of that is bringing a lot of their skills and abilities into line. A big part of that is that many of their callouts where they called out skill military now call out all allies. That's going to be a big boost for them. And then in some places they'll also have specific callouts.
Whoa,
for
whoa,
Winter
whoa, whoa,
Guard
whoa, whoa, whoa.
characters.
So whoa. Damon doesn't work on them? Oh, that's gonna be a problem. That's Brim. That's gonna be a
With
problem.
Red Guardian and Yelena getting reworked. What can you tell us about those two characters and what we're going to be doing with them?
Yeah, so Red Guardian
Rich,
and
new China
Yelena.
points.
So
I
it is
think I
time
did
to
set
bring
that up,
them
the China
into
points.
the current meta.
I forgot what I did because I
So a
put
big
some
part
kind
that is
of
bringing a lot
I
of their
put some kind
skills
of
and abilities
some
into
kind of tunes
line.
on there.
A big part of that is that many of their callouts where they called
I don't know how
out
to make the
skill
China points
military
work yet,
now
guys.
call out
I gotta put some time
all
into that.
allies. That's going to be a big boost for them. And then in some places they'll also have specific callouts for Winter Guard characters with their massive stat increases, and upgrades to almost all of their abilities. And now
Jesus.
when they call each other for
Yeah, their
assists on
system.
their abilities, they do so all the time instead of a small percentage.
Damn, they
chance.
whacking the hell out of Liberty.
It's a big power upgrade to bring them into
Jesus,
the current
Red
meta that
Guardian
we
is the
have.
new Captain America for real.
Yeah, and I really liked what you said there about making the characters that we know and love that are older more impactful in
I may or may not
today's
have a
game.
redemption
And I think that it's
or
important
an
to know
AI
that as we
VKG
continue to do this,
stopping on a
that,
pickle.
we're not
We
really
have to
wanting
figure out how to
to
set that up, Rich,
remove
because I
anything
don't know
from
how to
these
do that.
characters' kits.
But
We're wanting
yeah,
to bring new life
that'd be kind of cool.
into
I had
these
some tunes
characters.
set up
So
on there
really like
to pop up.
really like that.
Just a
Well,
basic
let's
something
jump
I got for free.
into
It's a bunch of money. I
one
don't know how
of
you use that
the
shit
newer
though.
characters and talk about Dark Star. What can you tell us about Dark Star?
Well, Dark Star, if you'll pardon the pun, is very much the new star of this team.
See, you know what I'm referring to?
So she is a support character.
It's some China points on there.
Um,
I just don't.
And for those of you who don't know,
I just don't
who
really know
Dark Star
what's going
is,
on with them.
She is a mutant from the old Soviet Union. In our story, she's kind of gone off and she's joined Winter Guard to help protect Mother Earth. So, but she uses, she has access to the Dark Force. So you'll see the Dark Force being used in all of her abilities. How her sustain works is on her, special and her ultimate. She has health steal mechanics where she redistributes to herself and Winter Guard allies. But a lot of her power actually comes from her passive. So she has a special ability where when an enemy character takes a turn, if they have the silence proc, she attacks them on their turn, deals damage, and then extends the silence proc by one turn. So essentially, like, you got a character with silence, they go, she attacks them, and it's like, guess what? You've got silence for an additional turn. And then she has a very powerful win more mechanic. Whenever an enemy character dies, she attacks the entire enemy team. She reduces all procs on herself
Is
and her
that in
Winter Guard
war?
allies by 1 and applies Safeguard on. Whenever an enemy character dies, she attacks the.
So one or more deaths attack for 250%. That's not in war. Reduce all negative effects on self and Winter Guard by 1. Apply safeguard and immunity to all Winter Guard. Okay. Okay. Is that that's her passive. Okay. Let's see.
Entire enemy team. She reduces all procs on herself and her Winter Guard allies by 1 and applies Safeguard and immunity to herself and all Winter Guard allies. So really powerful win more mechanic. So really important to like once you start winning, once you start getting ahead, get more ahead.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's super
Enough.
powerful. Her passive is very, very strong. And I think it's interesting, we have a lot of call outs to silence. And so I want to jump to what I would kind of consider to be the premier rework of this team, and that's Omega Red. And I bring that up
Yeah, it's gotta go
because
Omega Red.
he's going to be the one that actually provides the silence for this team, correct?
That is correct. It is a pretty significant change to his kit, specifically his. Since we're talking about the silence proc, we'll start with where that comes from. Actually, it comes from his passive. For those of you who don't know, who haven't looked at Omega Red, or original Omega Red, I should say, because we've got 2 of them in the game now. On his passive, he technically has a passive attack. Now, when he was originally designed, this was before we were, very cognizant of adding animations to passive attacks. So his passive attack has actually been reworked. So now there's a core damage component attached to it, and then a health steal, and then applying a bunch of negative effects.
This is all in war though. So none of this would happen in CC.
So in this case, it's going to be trauma, heal block, and silence. So, and this is an on-start attack. Technically, it happens after all the other on-start effects have occurred.
Oh,
So,
that's vicious.
if you have like on-spawn taunt or on-spawn speed bar, on procs, all of those will resolve, and then Omega Red will use his special on-spawn attack. And then the idea is this goes, and then the entire team starts to take their turns. They have silence, so Dark Star is going to follow up and extend the silence each time they take a turn. But this is
Jesus.
the only source
Oh
of
my God.
applying
That's insane.
silence on the team. So a lot of it is Omega Red's like core abilities. Again, they were really good. They didn't need too much touch up, especially with this big stat increase that he's going to be getting. The other significant
insane.
change
Just
to
gonna
Omega
whack
Red is on his special. So before he applied trauma and ability block to the primary target. Now it still applies, but if they already have it, he extends them by 1 turn to a maximum of 2.
Yeah, and talking about his ultimate really quick, one change that we actually made to his passive was that on Spawn and War, he will actually gain an additional ultimate ability energy. So now, instead of having to wait till turn 2, you can use that extremely powerful ultimate on turn 1.
Oh,
So going to be super excited to see what people do with that. And I think, again, it's worth noting that Omega Red, in order to make him this powerful, we needed to remove some of the older callouts to Weapon X. So let's quickly talk about that for just a second, if you don't mind, Byron.
Sure. Probably the big one is, if people remember, Omega Red had an on-spawn speed bar mechanic. So for every Weapon X ally he gained speed bar. That provided a lot of anti-synergy for him, for his new team and the new meta. We needed him to take his turn a little later and in the turn order, because he would gain some speed bar, he counts himself and then his allies. Most of the Weapon X characters have gone off to their own teams and received reworks. So they've gone off into their own metas. We want to bring Omega Red back into the meta again. A powerful, albeit older legendary, but he should still, because of this change, he should feel legendary again. And again, it wasn't we didn't. It wasn't just removed; it was replaced by something even more powerful, which was, like you said, gaining an ability energy at the start of the game, allowing him to use his ultimate turn one.
Yeah, and just the addition of silence on his passive, having, the heal block as well, just starting the match off
Wow,
with a
trauma,
very
heal block, and
powerful
silence.
ability
That's crazy.
allowed him to feel legendary once again. I like that you said that. Let's talk a little bit about the next newest character to join this team, and that is Ursa Major. Now, this was an interesting character for me because he's literally he's a bear, like he's a
Yeah.
massive grizzly bear. So, what can you tell us about Ursa Major?
So Ursa Major, he's a mutant who's essentially his mutant power is that he's a big, powerful bear man, very strong, very durable, as bears are. So he acts as the team's second protector, which makes a Winter Guard a dual protector team,
That's crazy.
which was a big reason why we wanted to lean into this team being, a bit slower, have powerful sustain, be extremely resilient. Dual protectors allow you to have that play style. So he's a bit odd because I would argue that his most powerful ability is actually his special. It's very high energy. It's basically a double tap all attack that applies slow, can apply
Oh
blind,
shit.
can clear procs from himself
Oh
and
no.
his Winter Guard
Damn,
allies.
Meth is
He can
out of
use
there.
taunt. It does all these things. But that's his big opener, and he needs a powerful opener because of how his passive works. The lion's share, well, bear share perhaps, of his passive is he provides a bunch of defensive abilities to defensive passives.
Okay. When a Winter Guard protector ally loses taunt, gain taunt. Okay, so they're gonna be taunting back and forth. If this character has 3 Winter Guard allies, so you can drop one, enemies cannot gain defense up, immunity, or possessed. Okay. And enemy supports, blasters, and protectors cannot gain charge. Okay, this will be interesting.
Until he takes his first turn. So, like, the big one is he provides essentially the equivalent of defense up for his entire team, but without the proc. So he provides for himself and his Winter Guard allies 50% damage reduction and 50% resistance.
Oh,
But
damage
he can't
reduction and
stack it with
resistance.
defense up because while this is active, he and his team are immune to both minor and normal defense up procs. He also prevents a bunch of other procs. He also does something really powerful where until he takes his first turn, he prevents darkness from being applied. So he's actually going to be your null. He's a big part of your null counter. And also he prevents possession on the enemy team. So if you've been really
Oh, that's a
struggling with
lot.
Astral and you just don't want to deal with that possession mechanic anymore, Ursa Major deals with that as well. So a very defensive character until he starts.
We say, Walt, just woke up. It's 1:52 a.m. Holy shit. Looks like I need an old man wee wee. So it's fitting. I come say, hey, the old timey. Thanks, man. Let's see what we got here. We just try to review this. This is all part of the Dulom video saying, New Mutants are skippable.
Taking turns. His ultimate is actually pretty simple. It's a big single target attack that clears and applies stun. What makes this a little bit more interesting, though, is that it's got special targeting when he's on ward defense. So he can get through, ignore taunts, ignore stealth, and he targets the enemy character with the highest focused. So, but yeah, that's Ursa Major, big, powerful bear man who provides some powerful defensive bonuses until he takes a turn, and then he turns, he turns the damage on.
Yeah, I really like that mechanic. I really like the defensive nature of this team. I think that it's really going to shake things up in the meta.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering is like if you have uh New Mutants on defense and I see them more as an offensive team, and this team is seen as more of a defensive team, and clearly they're gonna be great on offense and war. But if you use this team just team for team, um, I don't see where they're gonna have the speed against New Mutants to win the match. They might all live, or a lot of them might live, but it might time out.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what it seems like.
let's talk about one additional thing, and that is that starting with the Winter Guard, there's going to be a bit of an adjustment to
Ugh.
the stats of
We say,
characters.
well, like you could do foreplay and skip climax, but I wouldn't personally, but you could. Oh yeah, that going there. I don't know why I'm saying that. Okay. Oh, I do have a sexual thing on there
Moving
probably.
forward. So, do you want to talk just a little bit about that?
When Ares came out, we did a stat adjustment. Essentially, there was roughly a 30% buff to all stats. This was to kind of move into, push the meta forward and then get ready for, the Annihilator team coming out
Well,
in Arena. Winter Guard is going to be doing something similar. So they're getting a big, bump
oh, for
stat
arena.
adjustment. So when they come out, they are going to be some of the most powerful characters in the game.
Yeah, yeah, I think that about covers it there. We are kind of entering into a another character stat adjustment moving forward from this team. Well, I think that about covers it, Byron. I just want to say thank you so much for not only being here today, but you have been a big part of these strike spots for the combat team in 2025. So just want to offer my thanks to you and joining us all throughout the year. Can't wait for more in 2026.
Yeah, hopefully I can continue being a presence and going forward in 2026. These are a lot of fun. It's always a pleasure to come out and talk about the teams, share this with the community. It's important that we have conversations like this, and it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well, let's go ahead and jump to Lori to give us an update on the envoys.
Hey, Lori. Okay, so let's try to jump back over to here. What do you say? You try to be hilarious and tasteful. um, and good night for me. Yeah, get some sleep, man. 2 o'clock in the morning. That's pretty serious. So I don't know, guys. I still don't see it. These kits are pretty insane because Zero brought something up a long time ago. Like when the first meta jump happened, he was talking about how like you're looking at the power increase versus these teams that had the kits, and he was talking about like Superior Six comes in and you put Liberty on defense and they whoop them. You're talking about Illuminati, and it's like and Cabal, and it's like yeah, their kits are just so strong. The kits as a team, and those are Crucible teams. That's why I'm just naming them off. That even when Orcus came out for a while, we were able to beat them with New Mutants before they just faded out the scene. So it's like, because I remember doing my biggest punch up was like 1.5 mil with New Mutants. And I think when it got to about 1.7, the New Mutants couldn't do it. But we're still talking about a 1.5 mil punch up. It was an old stat team going to the new stats, and it's like they beat them. So we'll see how that works. Um, and it definitely with if they're on offense and you got Winter Guard on defense, we'll see if they can beat them. But I just don't think that Winter Guard beats this team if this is on defense. Ugh. And that kind of brings me back to his kid here. Like, how do we beat him? I don't know yet, Rich. If you want to jump in, man. But are you in? I didn't check. I thought I heard you in here for a minute. Uh, no, this is me. Um, but I just don't know how you get past this, man. Yeah, speed up. So, Rich, is this speed up? So I guess speed game will work. They still speed up. So I don't know if that makes Night Stalkers fast enough because they get 20% speed to come in and do some problems. And then who else would get gain speed? I guess Havoc still works. Let me see. Does this start over? No, it's in the middle. He was playing it again. Okay. Um, gains 50% damage. It gains 5% speed up to a maximum of 20. So, yeah, it looks like speed gain will work. So once again, I don't know, man. Is it Starjammers work on this? Because Fetty was pointing out how you can play around with the attack, and Starjammers is beating them without a Warlock. But I think Howard the Duck, what's he doing? He would not be able to feel a speed bar, so he would not be going. He would not feel that speed bar. That could be a problem. Yeah, I think this. I think they don't work. I mean, I don't know if it really matters if Wolfsbane can't go first, because Howard the Duck is he like 120? But he'd be faster. They get the speed gain, so he would be faster than that. Uh, what's Lily doing here again? So they wouldn't gain taunt, and they can't gain speed up. Okay. Um, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that would go. I have a feeling that this team is gonna beat Starjammers, but we'd have to really see that play out. Because I had an attack is gone now. They had an Odin with the team, and it looked possible to beat that, but the replay is out of there. Okay, you're not moving. Jeez. Try to get this attack in there. So yeah, we'll go down the list and we'll see what looks like to beat them. Zastin was looking at how a team with now you just throwing somebody with speed up, but like a big time with Insidious 6, if they steal a speed up, maybe Vulture can cancel it out. But I don't know if that's necessary because then it's like, okay, you just don't give it to them in the first place. Maybe that works, maybe that doesn't work. We'll see. Vulture will be going after Cannonball though. I don't know if it'd be anybody else that would be fast enough to do anything. We'll see. What's because like probably Vulture was filling the speed bar that made them up. Oh no, I guess they were beating them. You got Wolfsbane in there, so I'm not quite sure how. I didn't see the match where Insidious 6 beat them, but Big Time or Supreme Spider-Man is 133. Take a look at what was going on with that. What's up, how you flip? Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. Uh-oh, might be stuck. Ah, damn it. Merry Christmas is that in there. So yeah, we know that's not gonna work. They're not gonna work. I don't know if some variation of this could work or not. I don't I don't think so. You get immunity, and raids, crit. Enemies cannot have their speed increase set by positive effects. I don't know if any of them have a speed up on them. Safeguard. I think the only one was Iron Fist on his ult. Was that it? Yeah, I don't think they're gonna work. SPRs and raids. One or more enemies was slow. Who not slow? Let's be on an attack though. Alright, so um this will be the guy. 400% Pearson. That will probably do it. Yeah, 133. Get this first. Oh, immunity. Oh, I see. He gives immunity. Okay. What's up in all centers to 6? Yeah, they won't get this. Wait, did they get this is immunity? Okay. And feeds 1 turn. They won't get that. Well, I guess the mutants will get that. Couldn't bring him. Won't get this. I'm curious how that happened. Fly speed up. Or they won't. Oh, so they were getting this before. So they don't get this now. So maybe that's how they were beating them. Because they won't get speed up. He would take that, and then Vulture would clear it. Oh, but he would give slow. Okay, so maybe that's how they do it. Because they would get slow. So Vulture would give him slow. So I guess they could still beat him. Gain 2 deflex. Couldn't get the speed bar. Yeah, I think the slow is probably why they can still beat them. So Merry Christmas, Walking Eight. Oh, I think I had the wrong title on the video up. Let me go back and change that. I didn't put nothing up, so it looks like it's probably saying something else. This is it changed its title. What's in this title be, guys? Is Dulom wrong? Am I spelling Dulom's name wrong? Dulom. Let me see how you spell his name. I forgot now. I think I got it right. Dulom wrong about new New Mutants. How did I say right? Is Dulum correct? Is Dulum correct about New Mutants? Nope. Ah, okay. Throw that in there. Why not? Okay, so let's see. Apply one random negative effect. They flip that. Or like I flip it. Offense down, defense down, and slow. So he gets slow as well, huh? An enemy that has a negative effect is attacked. Like the most injured enemy. Let's do that speed bar. So you'd have to put somebody with them where they could not get slow. Get off of that. Because that looks like how they win. Um, let's go on to the next one here. They're not gonna work. They're not gonna work. Yeah, they wouldn't work. They probably won't work. I don't know. They're so big. Maybe they work now. Just for the well, field speed bar that wouldn't be there. But gain 5% speed, so they're not gonna shut it down. I don't know, man. We'll have to see how Fantastic Four does. I think just by Franklin and Sue going, they probably could smack them out the gates because it's so big right now. We'll see. This probably won't work. This won't work. I don't think they're gonna work. Starjammers is questionable still though, and Liberty won't work. This won't work. This won't work. So Dave said they didn't work, or they didn't look good. He says not like a desirable team to use. We'll see what happens though. This is questionable. This won't work. This won't work. I don't know. Could they work? Because if he's getting 20% speed, he's already 127. He go first. This could be a problem because then it's nothing to stop them from getting blinded. So that doesn't work. So it's just the damage, clear immunity, apply disrupt, and blind. I guess that will work. They have a slow. That's right, because Man Thing has a slow. Wait. This won't work. Damage reduction. That's just him, no resistance. Yeah, he's got a blind in there too. So a possible blind bleeds. That could be a problem. And slow. They might can work. $105. Be 120. I don't know. Or 120. Well, maybe. Wait, what is that? I have to let me jump over so we can calculate this real quick. All right, so 105 times 120%, 126. So it's still slower than Cannonball, but the damage could be done because he hit in the Cannonball. Huh. Maybe Unite is a factor again. Shit, this is a lot, man. He could give heal block to Magic would go, and for 2 turns, it could be one of these. So offense down, disrupt, slow, blind, or bleed. That's a lot of shit in there. And clear all positive effects on each enemy. Shit, this guy might be back in the game. All right, Man Thing. You know it gives him the speed gain. He can't be stunned. Gives him immunity. Taunt. He gives him regen, the speed, and then this was a slow in here. This would work. All right, we get that back up. Yeah, my computer crashed. That's a first. It has never happened. So I had to play with that. That happens when it crashes. Alright, so we got that up. So now we got to get the game up. Well, that's doing that. Um, I'm on the wrong shit. Let's see what this is right here. Lives on unplugged. Okay, and then this two. All right, let's see if that's better. That didn't do it. I check these volumes too, I guess, when I'm thinking about it. Because they might be, I guess they're still playing. Okay. Okay, that's back now. Okay, we gotta wait on the game. All right, so we got that up. Let me take a look at this. We'll run a scan while we're doing this. All right, so let me jump back over here. I got where I was at, but I don't think I got to. I was there. Heard about them. Them is possibility. Them won't work. And Dave said they didn't look good. That won't work. They said they didn't look good. This won't work, does it? No, Phil Speedbar, that won't work. They won't work. They might work. Moon Knight might be back into play. This might could work because they are designed to beat mutants, and since she's for the slow out, but no, she won't get speed up. She feels speed bar. She won't feel a speed bar, so maybe that don't work. I don't think they work. Let's see. She's fast, so she put out bleeds, get more damage, lower the barrier by 10%. She gains the charges when they get hit. More focus. It wouldn't assist though, and the enemies cannot gain speed up. Okay. 2 deflex. And resistant, 50% armor, 50% damage. Okay. Speed bar cannot be filled. apply speed up. I wonder how that would work. If he gives them speed up and they still speed up, but the other team can't get speed up, how the fuck does that work? Does negate? Right, he is. You can't gain slow. Okay, we got to see what that would look like. So this won't work. They won't work. They won't work. Huh. Fly safeguard the 7 ball. Seize the health. Say with vulnerables, right? They won't get assists. They cannot feel speed bar, but they can get speed up. Who gives them speed up? Okay, he gives them speed up. So they would steal this. Okay, so Cabal probably won't work. Okay, now this works. Ooh, yeah, he won't work. 126. He blind though. Yeah, he won't get that. Okay, so this is interesting. They stop a lot. So on defense, you would if there was a team that had speed gain, like this is go with Night Stalkers, this first one popped in my head. Um, you'd either have to put somebody in that could stop that, or you'd have to put somebody in that could clear the blinds. So Odin is pretty fast, fast enough. He could go with them on defense. You would drop Sunspot. That's my thought. So Odin could work. Heal self and all allies. Yeah, that would work. Healing. He give offense up, defense up, speed up, and immunity. That would work. Bury yourself and all. Okay. This character use their basic. Okay. Character cannot be revived. So on stun, clear stun, and he gets speed up. Oh, okay. But they won't stun him. While charged, you know, be reduced by slow. Character not have their speed bar reduced. Okay, that's important. 25% damage reduction and resistance. That's huge. This character cannot gain any new negative save except silence. Okay. Odin could work. Who else could work? She, no, she wouldn't work. So X kills character takes a complete turn. Enemies cannot assist. We already got that. They can't get speed up. We already got that. They can't get defense up. They can't get slow. Okay, that'd be huge. So X, they would not get slow. Okay, speed bar can only be field reduced by no means. They're not gonna get that though. 50%. Whoa, what? 50% damage reduces. Okay, before mind control. Phillips carry speed bar. Okay, that won't happen. Well, that might happen. Have to see who going into him. Barry 7 all allies. Enemies with defense down that normally cannot gain time. Okay, so yeah, I guess X would bring some values. I wish Zastin was here because he had explanation on why to not use X. But it looks like Odin and X they could work if you put them on defense because the flaw is that they will get slow because that's the way you will beat them. So if you have X in there, they can't get slow. So that makes a problem on how you're gonna beat them. I think the was talking about that. Like you put X in there, and he was talking about it was overlaps, but this not getting darkness or slow would be huge because that looks like the weakness for New Mutants. That wouldn't happen. Um, and then Odin would be able to hopefully if he took a turn, but they could get slow. Well, yeah, he could get slow too. So he might not be the best choice. He's a choice, but he wouldn't be the number one choice. But he'd flip all negative effects and positive effects if he does go. So that'd be huge. They probably try to block him if they could. Let's see who else could go. Maybe another tank. So if they don't take something to stop him from filling the speed bar, he could be a problem a little bit. This character not have his speed reduced. Period. What we got here? Okay, it's still going. Uh, uh. Use speed bar. Okay, 5%. He's got some advantages. He wouldn't get that. He wouldn't feel his. Well, he could feel the speed bar. I guess depending on who goes in there. Um, this resistance up to 75% would be huge. Uh, uh, gain speed. This could be huge because there's not a lot of people gonna slow this down. Cut this out. And armor from 20% to 80%. That's gonna be huge. 200% piercing, can't be stunned. 25% max barrier and drain. He could work. I don't know if you put him in there. Yeah, it's a safeguard, right? Huh. I guess he only gets charged in war though. One turn. What I'm missing? Yeah. I don't know if they would need that. Well, he has immunity. Yeah, I don't think he'd be a good addition. So if you take him in, they can't get a charge, and he could fill a speed bar depending on who they take in there. Can't be stunned. Leaves would be a big deal. 100% assist chance. I don't know. There's some potential with him. This guy do. So he could clear all charge. Revive, huh? Speed up. Yeah, I don't think you put him in there. On Crucible, Blastar is an ally until its territory takes a complete turn. Okay, so only with Blastar, enemies cannot feel speed bar for themselves. They gain 20% more resistance. You're more uncanny. Heal block. Clear all vulnerables. I wonder if this would make a difference though. He just clears all vulnerables. Clear two negative effects. So heal 20%. Let's see what that would look like. He's got this. He'd be well, if they stole speed up, then he would give him speed up again here. What is his speed? 116. Okay. I can't remember if they give ability energy to just New Mutants or X-Men. I think it's just New Mutants. Uh 116 times 150%. He 174. If he was on defense and they took a team in with speed up, which I would assume they wouldn't do that, he'd be 174. This could be a problem. Then that would never come into play though. So on turn, apply regeneration to most injured ally. If that ally is X-Men, heal that ally 50% of this character's max health. I wonder if this would get him more sustain though. Like 14 mil health. Does he have any armor? No, not much. So there's always Dorm. There's always APOC. They get 20% more health, 20% damage. I don't know if Magic, if we get Mags, we have to see if Magic has to, or Phoenix has to stay on that team. On spawn, apply defense over 2 turns to all X-Men and Phoenix Force allies. On death, summon Dark Phoenix. When an ally gains taunt, does not from on spawn passive gain taunt for 2 turns. Okay. In Crucible, X-Men allies gain 50% more damage. They gain 15% more health. This could be something. Transfer all negative effects. Yeah, that could be something. If this character has 2 or more X-Men allies. So she only needs 2 X-Men allies, and she could attack primary target with 320% damage, copy all negative effects, excluding stun and trauma from this character to the primary target. If this character has a Mega Red Phoenix Force, clear all negative effects. So she needs him to clear all negative effects. Uh, this character has allies, no allies. Attack self for 5,000% piercing. If this character dies, their passive will trigger. Okay. Um, here with Omega, but oh, well, I get to use this. Clear all negative effects from self and all X-Men and Phoenix Force allies. This could come into play. She's 118. So I guess she'd be like, if they got speed up, she'd be like 178 maybe. Attack all enemies. This character has 4 more allies. And Crucible, a steal the health. Regen. There's 2 X-Men. Gain speed up. Clear all negative effects from just him. Huh. I don't know. We have to see. Let's see what that might look like. Because it'd have to be. Yeah, I think she only works if somebody made a mistake and took speed up into this team. But I don't know. Does she still work if they don't? I didn't mean to do that. I don't think you want to break her up. I don't think she's gonna help him any. Maybe they can't have their speed increased, so the speed gain wouldn't work with Emma in there. Oh no, well yeah, no, because then the speed up wouldn't work. So, or does it? Does the game work here? Is that an on spot? Is that a positive effect? Um, I don't know. Hope you can try her. You know how Nightcrawler looks with them. Cable is field speed bar. Yeah. It applies a counter to a random mutant. Yeah, I think we're at the end of that. Yeah, I mean, we got 3 or 4 characters. Beast could be an option, and Phoenix could actually be an option. Because Fetty made a good point. Like, guys are shutting down Phoenix, so the revive mechanic is they're just pausing. So it might be time to think about using Omega without her, which that could be a problem. Um, and then maybe she could go with New Mutants because she brings some value to them. We have to see what that new Mags looks like if they make the team stay together. Because I think the only way is if one, she can still bring her summons in, Kessler wouldn't stop it, and then two, the pause wouldn't work somehow. Otherwise, I think this is too much a factor. But yeah, so that's pretty much my take on the Dulum video. I still say build the New Mutants. I think New Mutants are the offensive team that's going to counter a lot. I went through that in another video, so I don't want to go through that list here because this is a pretty long stream, and there's 2 parts to it now. Oh, why go to New Avengers? So this be huge. I think she's gonna be pretty clutch. They're making it hard for us to get her up. I spent like 25 or $30 just to get to this. It's like fuck. I was hoping for a big drop. It did not happen. I guess big enough to go from 200 to 97, but it's just like so not worth it. To do anymore. I only have 1 diamond on her, which would be cool, but it's like, oh my god, this is just so damn expensive, man. It's like they're still trying to get a lot of money out of her, so it just makes me think her shards are not coming like really anytime soon. I don't think I waste those. I don't have it much. Maybe I do enough to get this to 20. Nowhere close on that. That one either. I think none of these, huh? Oh, I got one more to go. Get that from. Wait, what is that? In here. What is this shit? Is this? Where do you get the 100 from? How did I get on such an odd number? I don't understand where that's coming from at all. Oh, yeah. Anyway, all right. Let me see what's on, guys. Maybe Morgan A got on. Nuclear cluster. Who's this guy? He's not speaking English. Oh my God, what is going on with that? No, oh, he's not playing Marvel Strike Force? Oh shit. Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's not gonna work out. Is that Russian? That says shrouded. Yeah, so that's who's on. Yeah, I think that's all that's on. It's just chatting. Okay. All right, we'll just go to this guy. He's not even doing anything. Can you do that? I'll raid you the guy that's talking Russian just so he can get a raid. Oh, that's the wrong guy. Oh no, wait, is he doing no, he's still not doing anything. One of them doing anything. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna end this. They're not doing anything. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by, and we'll get started with this tomorrow. Kind of close to the reset. What do you say, Walking